He was my rock. He was a beacon of wisdom.
A day to honor a fallen hero. He was a police officer, a man of faith, a father.
Dad, I'll miss you, Derek.
Officer Rafael Ramos was one of 2 officers murdered in the line of duty. Now it's the duty of the city to help their grieving families heal.
They should be in a position so that for the rest of their lives, they never have to worry about material things.
A sea of blue will line the streets, officers remembering his sacrifice and making sure his heroism is never forgotten.
Seeing everybody pull together, it shows strength.
Team coverage of the officer's farewell begins right now on CBS 2 News This Morning. Good morning, everyone. Coming up on 9 a.m. on this Saturday, December 27th, I'm Diane Macedo.
And I'm Andrea Grimes. The day's top stories are straight ahead, but first, meteorologist Vanessa Murdoch is here with a look at the forecast. Good morning, Vanessa.
Good morning, ladies. It's going to be a beautiful day out there today. Lots of sunshine, which we are already seeing. You can see that behind me, beautiful blue skies, but warm as well. Temperatures are heading for the mid-50s by this afternoon. At present, it's 46 in the city, 37 in the Hamptons, just 30 in Monticello, 33 in Edison, 42 in Greenwich. On the Vortex satellite and radar picture, those clouds are just breaking apart. They're still a little bit thicker east of the city, but for everybody, it will be a mainly sun-filled day and warm as well. So those clearer skies that you see over much of PA heading in our direction. 11 a.m. this morning, it's 49 degrees and mostly sunny. By 3, 53 degrees, a very mild afternoon and still mostly sunny. Then at 7 tonight, partly cloudy and 47. Again, the forecasted high today is 54 degrees. That's 14 degrees above normal. Coming up, I'll let you know how long the warmth will last. That's all my full forecast. Andrea and Diane, back to you.
All right, Vanessa, thanks. Our top story now. 1 week has passed since the assassination of 2 New York City police officers. Today, we say goodbye to one of them.
Officers Rafael Ramos and Wenjin Liu were sitting in their patrol car in Bedford-Stuyvesant last Saturday when a gunman ambushed them.
The memorial at the site of the attack has been growing ever since as the city mourns their loss and tries to heal.
Thousands of police officers and other mourners are making their way to the church in Glendale for the funeral.
We have team coverage this morning, beginning with CBS 2's Janelle Burrell. Janelle?
Well, Diane and Andrea, right now you can see thousands of those officers from not only the NYPD, but from around the country gathering to pay their respects to the Ramos family during this difficult time. As you can imagine, we are going to be hearing from a number of speakers, including Mayor de Blasio. Vice President Joe Biden is expected to be in attendance, as well as his community, and the city bears this officer farewell.
He was my rock. He was a beacon of wisdom. He was my absolute best friend.
A heartbroken son preparing to say goodbye to his dad. Justin Ramos was in the middle of his sophomore year at Bowdoin College in Maine when his father, Officer Rafael Ramos, was gunned down. The teen's image watched on a jumbotron by thousands waiting in line outside of Ramos's wake Friday in Queens.
My dad would have been there for everyone else, and to see so many people here for him is a testament to how he is as a person. It's been so helpful in this difficult time.
The Ramos family leading on that support, not only from friends, but from countless officers, community members, and even strangers.
A lot of the officers was thanking me for coming. I said, there's no need to thank me, you know? I feel duty-bound as a citizen.
For more than 7 hours, a steady crowd of people came to offer their condolences. Among the guests, Mayor de Blasio and Governor Cuomo, who asked for continued support for the family, especially Ramos's 2 sons.
To lose their father this way, in such an unexpected way, at this time of year is truly, truly difficult.
Even in their pain, they managed a few smiles.
I'm going to keep this short and sweet, just like my brother.
Reflecting on the man they say truly lived not only for his family, but for his city.
And having you as my brother is the highest honor that could have been bestowed upon me.
Dad, I'll miss you, Derek. I'll miss you with every fiber of my being.
And right now, the Ramos family is making their way to the church here in Glendale as those services are set to begin at 10 o'clock this morning. Of course, there will be increased security as well because of the number of officers here, given the recent threats that we've had against police in recent weeks, and also because of the dignitaries expected to be in attendance here this morning. For now, we are live in Glendale, Queens. Janelle Burrell, CBS 2 News.
Janelle, thank you. The community of Glendale has prepared all week for this funeral, and many residents have been showing their support for the fallen officer.
CBS 2's Alana Gold has that part of the story. Alana?
Diane, the death of Officer Ramos is having a tremendous impact on the people who live in Glendale. They are so sad over the loss and just overwhelmed with what's happening out here this morning. Take a look. We're seeing an absolutely incredible scene here on Myrtle Avenue with hundreds of officers from across the country coming through here for the funeral, and it's actually cleared out quite a bit in the last few minutes. But neighbors tell us they've never witnessed anything like this.
It's been very sad. It's very emotional.
And it's still emotional for Teresa Croniker, dealing with the loss of Officer Rafael Ramos.
When he would look at you and smile, you had to smile back because it was like infectious.
This waitress at Tasty Diner on Myrtle Avenue tells us she served Ramos and his family every Sunday after church for many years. And Ramos was here just days before getting killed.
It was, from what we believe, it was his birthday. His son, we were teasing around with his youngest son, and we asked why he was home, and he said it was because it was Dad's birthday.
People from Glendale and neighboring towns continue to show up at the Christ Tabernacle Church to light candles and say a prayer.
I walked up there yesterday and was very heartfelt.
Including Joe Hoffey. He never met Officer Ramos, but wanted to pay his respects.
People, are hurting.
It's also a hurtful time for those at Christ Tabernacle Church, where his family belongs.
We love Rafael Ramos. He was a gift to our church. We loved his faithfulness and the way that he served people, and we're going to miss him a great deal.
Parishioners tell us he left quite an impression on this congregation.
He was the best guy. Best thing in the world.
They describe Ramos as a fixture here working with the Ushers Ministry. His friends say he had aspirations to be a pastor and was training to become a police chaplain.
He was loved. He was loved. It's like you losing your brother, how you love your brother.
A loss that's left them devastated as they prepare to say goodbye. And back out here live, where we're still seeing dozens of officers walking to Officer Ramos's funeral. We just saw a group from Utah and West Virginia. Now, the NYPD will be shutting down the area by Myrtle Avenue in a matter of minutes to accommodate these huge crowds and for safety reasons. So keep that in mind if you're commuting through here today. We're live in Glendale this morning. Alana Gold, CBS 2 News.
All right, Alana, thanks. And as the families of those murdered officers now try to piece their lives back together, a city foundation is stepping in to help. The Stephen Stiller Tunnel to Towers Foundation announced it will completely pay off the mortgages for the Lou and Ramos families. Frank Stiller, the foundation's chairman, spoke to us earlier this morning and said he and his family felt they had to find a way to help.
My cousin John called me and said, hey, Frank, what are we doing to help the two families? And I said, I don't know. What do you think? And he said, how about if we pay the mortgage payments? And I said, done. And I said, how about this, though? How about we instead pay them off?
Step up.
Former Mayor Rudy Giuliani also pledged $20,000 to the effort. The Liu family is still finalizing funeral plans as they wait for more relatives to arrive from overseas. Meanwhile, Officer Ramos' funeral is scheduled to begin today at 10 a.m., and we will be broadcasting it live on our website, cbsnewyork.com.
Mayor de Blasio is calling for unity, but his critics are not backing down. A banner flew over the city yesterday morning that read, "De Blasio, our backs have turned to you." Officers literally turned their backs on the mayor last week at the hospital after the officers were shot and killed. A group of retired and current officers reportedly paid for this banner. In a statement, the mayor said dividing people will not help the city heal.
New this morning, a search is underway on Staten Island for a man police say tried to rob a livery cab driver at gunpoint. Police released this photo of the suspect. They say he pulled out a gun and demanded money after the driver took him to Maple Parkway in Mariners Harbor. But the 59-year-old driver driver says he refused and took off running.
North Korea blames President Obama for shutting down its internet this week. Kim Jong-un's regime used a derogatory term to describe the president, adding he is reckless with words and deeds. The U.S. government has blamed North Korea for the cyber attack at Sony and threats on moviegoers, all sparked by the release of the film The Interview. North Korea continues to deny any involvement. Meanwhile, The Interview reportedly made $1 million after its Christmas Day debut. The movie cost $80 million to make. Sony also made the movie available to rent or buy online on the same day. No word yet on how much cash that generated, but it was reportedly downloaded illegally more than 200,000 times.
And Sony's PlayStation Network still hasn't recovered from a Christmas Day cyber attack. Both Xbox and Sony PlayStation were knocked offline Thursday, leaving eager gamers unable to play. Xbox Live is back up and running, but Sony's PlayStation Network is still down. A group of hackers is taking credit for the disruptions.
The former chairman of the Port Authority has ended his lawsuit over an ethics probe. Court documents show David Sampson filed paperwork dropping the suit against New Jersey's State Ethics Commission on Wednesday. Sampson claimed the commission had no jurisdiction since the authority is governed by laws enacted by both states. Sampson stepped down earlier this year amid questions about whether he used the post to help his law firm's clients.
Happening today, the New Year's Eve ball will get some major bling. The numbers 2015 are already in place, but today crews will install the Waterford crystal triangles on the ball, more than 2,600 triangles to be exact. Crews will also install more than 32,000 LED lights to complete the ball's kaleidoscope effect. The Times Square Alliance will then test the ball on December 30th.
Well, today is the second day of Kwanzaa. Each of the 7 days of Kwanzaa is dedicated to a principle. Today's is self-determination. Yesterday, President Obama and the First Lady took a break during their vacation to send prayers and best wishes to people celebrating. Kwanzaa runs until January 1st.
All right, time now 9:09. Up next, our coverage of the fallen officers continues.
We'll speak with the Silver Shield Foundation about its mission to make sure the children of the fallen officer is taken care of.
Also this morning, a popular present could be costing you valuable sleep. A new study on high-tech devices and bedtime health hazards.
And down to the wire in Beantown, the thrilling finish for the Nets as they try to get closer to 500.
But first, here's Vanessa Murdoch with your forecast.
A gorgeous start to your weekend is well underway. Coming up, I'll tell you how long this and the warmth will last. And of course, we'll take a look at the New Year's forecast as well. But first, a check on the community calendar from CBS 2 and CBSNewYork.com.
Today's community calendar is presented by Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. To get more info on this month's events, go to cbsnewyork.com.
It's Macy's biggest mattress sale of the season with specials now through Thursday on mattress sets from Sealy, Serta, Beauty Rest, iComfort, iSeries, and more. Get a Macy Bed Cushion Firm Queen set for $279 or a Serta Perfect Sleeper Plush Queen set for $379. Get free mattress delivery and setup with a minimum purchase of $787. And special financing on a mattress purchase of $499 or more on your Macy's card. It's our biggest mattress sale of the season during Macy's After Christmas sale.
You sure you want to do that?
Who are you?
Oh, hi, I'm the second owner.
I just bought this car.
Correct. You're the first owner, and I'm the second. You know, I mean, think about me and all the other owners after me. Tell me about Mudbone. Does he ride in the car?
And no, he's allergic to leather.
The exceptional certified pre-owned program with the highest quality cars. Good news for the second owner.
Buy a future car.
Visit your local Audi dealer to learn about the many benefits of our comprehensive certified pre-owned program.
My sister and I came home one Christmas morning and we heard a dog barking. And we had hoped for a puppy for the entire year, and there he was. He was so precious, and I remember the both of us just crying and yelling and jumping up and down and just hugging that puppy for years just because we just loved him so much, and it was just a real wonderful moment for both of us.
It's the end of the year. Time to reflect on your accomplishments. At Chevrolet, we've had quite a few.
In fact, this year we've won more awards than any other car company. And it's not too late to reward yourself at the Chevy year-end event. Hurry, it all ends January 2nd. Choose a Cruze in stock the longest and get cash back for 20% of the MSRP. That's over $4,250 on this Cruze LT. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Weather is powered by Chevy.
We're looking at a live picture there of Christ Tabernacle Church in Glendale, Queens, awaiting the beginning of the funeral for fallen Officer Rafael Ramos. We saw Officer Ramos's family arrive just minutes ago, as well as Police Commissioner Bill Bratton. And as you can see, many other officers, thousands, expected to show up here to say farewell to this fallen hero. The funeral service is scheduled to begin at 10 a.m., and we will be streaming it live on our website, cbsnewyork.com. Andrea?
The death of 2 New York City police officers has led to some incredible acts of kindness. The Silver Shield Foundation has offered to pay for the education of Officer Ramos's 2 children. Former Yankee owner George Steinbrenner and former Olympian James Fuchs started the foundation. And joining us this morning from Glendale, Queens, is the Chief Operating Officer, Casey Fuchs. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Casey, can you tell us a little bit about how this foundation started?
Sure. It started 32 years ago. My father, Jim Fuchs, and George Steinbrenner were at a funeral, and they were handing the flag to the family, and Mr. Steinbrenner said to my father, what happens when it comes time for college for these children? We need to start a foundation. And he said, you raise money and you give it away. And the Yankees gave the proceeds of several years, the proceeds of 1 game a year to get the foundation started. And my father got 100 of his friends to give a certain amount, and some of those friends still give to this day. That's how the foundation started. We started with the NYPD and the FDNY, New York City Police Department, Fire Department. And then in the 2000s, we added the New York, Connecticut, and New Jersey State Troopers, all police in Connecticut, all police in Long Island, and the New York, New Jersey Port Authority Police Department. So we have over 100,000 police officers and firefighters that we cover. We actually, this year, had a very, very hard year because there's now 13 children that have lost their father, and that's quite a few since I've been with the foundation for 11 years, so that's quite a few since 9/11. And we put a certain amount aside for each child for educational support. It could be for tutoring to help them get into college, grad school, and any specialized schooling, law school,
and Casey,
nursing school.
What does it mean to the families to get this monetary support?
It helps with the burden because education is very, very expensive. So we try to help with the burden for the educational support. They can call us. I help them with what they need to do with us. With Silver Shield, they just need to send an invoice to us, and then we send it directly to the institution or to the certified tutor. And I also walk them through different organizations that can also help with the burden.
Mm-hmm. And you all keep in touch with the children as they go through school, is that correct?
I do. They call every once in a while. A lot of times it's their mother that calls and is helping them out. But they call, and we also stay in touch when they graduate because we want our donors to see, hear the success stories and where their money's going. And we get graduation pictures and terrific stories of where they've gone to school, where they're going, and their appreciation for the Silver Shield support.
Well, Casey Fuchs, thank you so much for joining us this morning from the Silver Shield Foundation, and thanks for all you do.
Thank you.
And Officer Ramos's funeral is scheduled to begin this morning at 10 o'clock. We will be broadcasting it live on our website, cbsnewyork.com.
Time now to check in with meteorologist Vanessa Murdoch, who has today's weather forecast. Vanessa?
Well, the